What's up, YouTube? It's Heretic here, and welcome back. We have another deck that we're looking at today here, and that deck is the Fighting Vileplume deck. Now, this took off in Japan first, and then did well in a South American National Championship, if I recall correctly. I apologize for not remembering if it's Argentina, Chile, Brazil, or one of the other countries. I'm sorry that I don't remember that. I could look it up, I suppose. But in any case, we're looking at a list that's pretty darn close to the one that we had that I remember seeing posted. So I toyed with it a little bit. Only ended up changing like one or two cards if I remember correctly. But this is a very interesting deck. I was a little skeptical about it first, but the more I've playtested it, the more I've come to realize exactly how versatile it can be. So we have two copies of Zygarde-EX, which is this big 190 HP behemoth that's just kind of been screaming to see play ever since it came out, but no one can seem to find a way to make it competitive. It's actually a pretty solid card. So we got two copies of him, 3 attacks, essentially 40 damage, 60 healing, 30, and then just 100 is the big one. Of course, you got strong energy to buff that up, along with Fighting Fury Belt and the likes of that. So that's pretty solid. I also got one Lucario-EX, 3 attacks, all very similar. 30 damage here, but better against like flying subtypes due to not being affected by resistance. 60, and you draw until you have 6. This can be extremely useful under item lock if you play your hand down low and maybe you're stuck with like a trainer's mail that you can't play or something, if that's like a top deck. And then Somersault Kick again, 100 for 3. 10 less HP. A different weakness is actually pretty relevant too, because Zygarde-EX is weak to grass, Lucario to Psychic. So that can be relevant in a couple of matchups. And we also got the regular Zygarde, which I really wish I had the pre-release artwork for this, because this artwork is just nasty looking. Or maybe even the box promo. But this is actually a better card than I think a lot of people realize as far as a non-EX fighting attacker goes. For 2, you do 30, and they can't retreat, which is decent, I guess. You know, a lot of the switching effects right now are relying on Float Stone. A lot of decks do that, so you can play around it. Just realize that Escape Rope and AZ will still mess you up. But you use this more for Geostrike, which is for 3 energy, you do 120, and then the drawback is you take 10 damage to each of your bench Pokemon, which really isn't that much. And I mean, 10 damage isn't a lot of damage, and, you know, yeah, it hits everything, but whoop-de-doo, you know, that's kind of a calculated risk that you take, I think, and it can get knockouts on a lot of stuff. If you got a couple strong energies and a belt on there, you hit 170, you can take out a bunch of EXs that way. And you can also take out Safeguarders with it, which is really, really nice. Now, our other fighting types are the Carbink line. So we have 2 Carbinks, Safeguard, very, very powerful effect. And since we're running Vileplume, however many Hex Maniacs our opponent is running, that's how many times they are going to get to Hex. I mean, sure, they could play the Hex, shut this down, shut the Vileplume down along with it, and then BS Secret right back then, but that's about it. And then Power Gem for 40 for 2. This is a highly underrated attack, and the reason I think this attack is good is because with even 1 strong energy, you are hitting 60 damage behind a Safeguarder. If it has 2 strong, you're hitting 80, which is really good. I'm not going to throw the Fury Belt in here only because most of the time you're going to want to break evolve him, which means that you would lose the benefits from Fury Belt. But you get Carbink Break, which has Diamond Gift. For 1 fighting, you deal only 20 damage, but you get to accelerate any 2 energy cards, special or basic, from your discard pile to one of your fighting type Pokemon. So this is really good. I mean, I guess you could accelerate to himself if you wanted to, but mainly you're going to use it to charge up Zygarde-EX, Zygarde, and Lucario-EX. You could, I guess, charge another Carbink on the bench too. And then lastly, we play 2 Shaymin-EX for draw power, and a 2/2/2 Vileplume line. This deck will not be as aggressive in terms of the turn 1 Vileplume as Vespiquen Vileplume does, or is, mainly because you can't really afford to rip through your entire deck when you don't have Vespiquen taking OHKOs every turn. But that said, this deck is overall, even though it's a little slower, it's a little more versatile than the straightforward Vespiquen Vileplume deck that virtually auto loses to Metal, or anything running an Aegislash for that matter. So this is a little more well-rounded in my opinion. For our item cards, you may notice it's a bit of a toolbox here. We'll start with the obvious 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Trainer's Mail. We don't run VS Seeker, just like Vileplume, because with Vileplume, it just seems like it's too much of a clash. You could always try to tech in that Wobbuffet to send up after something gets knocked out, give it a float stone. You can play all your items and then free retreat. That's always a fun thing to do. Right now, not really having the space, but you could definitely try to cut something for that. So we got 1 Heavy Ball, 2 Level Balls, 1 Revitalizer, and 1 Super Rod. Now, the reason that the toolbox of these items works so well is because we run double Karina. That's another card you could probably up to 3 of, because it lets you pull your items early and often. Of course, with Vileplume out, your items are going to be useless, but most of these items are tailor-made to get Vileplume set up, or in the case of Revitalizer and Super Rod, to get it back into the deck so you can bring it back out if it does get brought up and knocked out. So, just kind of a little thing going on there. Overall, pretty useful. The Heavy Ball has access to Vileplume and the Zygarde-EX, I believe. It also has, yep, has 3 retreat. This one, okay, that's only got 2. And then we've got the Level Ball, which can pull Oddish, Gloom, and Carbink, all of which are pretty solid for that. You know, get your basics, get your Gloom out, be ready for the Vileplume. And then in our supporters, we've got 2 copies of AZ. Now, we are going to be running 3 float stones as well, so we've got plenty of ways to get Vileplume out of the active should we need to, and also a switching manner if we don't have a float stone down on something. Once Vileplume comes into play, you can just AZ it back up. Works as a max potion as well, and if it has energy on it, it just goes to the discard and you use Carbink Break to re-accelerate it. 2 Karinas, like I mentioned before, help us get our setup on both our attackers, our Carbinks, and our item cards to pull our Vileplume line out. So she kind of does double duty there. 2 Lysanders to stall early or just KO whatever the threat is, or lay a lick on something before before it decides to mess us up. And then 3 N and 4 Sycamore. Now I feel like the list I originally saw had 3 Sycamore and 2 N. So I upped each one by 1 copy, and that is again due to the fact that this deck does not play VS Seeker because of Vileplume. It also doesn't play Battle Compressor because it wouldn't really work that way with VS Seeker anyway. So with such limited access to supporters and only 2 copies of Shaman, which is really all you can fit due to bench requirements, you are really more often than not going to want to have these extra draw supporters. 4 Force the Giant Plants for a Vileplume deck is pretty self-explanatory. We have 2 Fighting Fury Belts, mainly for your Lucario and your Zygardes. If you're not going to break evolve a Carbink, you could throw it there, or you could even put it on a Shaman to mainly to keep it from getting knocked out at 110 if it gets Lysandered. 3 Float Stones. Try to get 1 on Oddish or Gloom before it evolves. If not, you just AZ it, I guess, and then you just re-evolve it in 1 turn after playing all your items. Force the Giant Plants. They got 4 Strong Energies and 6 Fighting to round it out. 10 Energies has worked out pretty well for me. I've considered playing a Compressor, since you can search it out with Karina and then just discard energy and use it with Carbink, but since we're mainly going for the Vileplume line, the energy count seems pretty solid. Space is tight, so definitely it's tough to kind of find a space to do something like that. And there's some other stuff I would rather fit in over the Battle Compressor, I think, the more I look at this list. So definitely some options, but this is a pretty versatile deck if you can get it set up. Just have to be really careful, as always, like with any deck like this, where you're item locking both sides of dead drawing when the Vileplume is out and ending up in a corner because of it. So it's probably not the first deck I would recommend to beginners, but nonetheless, if you want to take the time to learn it, I mean, play a few games with it, kind of get used to it. It's pretty solid, better than I thought it was going to be. So we're going to take it into some games here and try it out. Okay, so it's some kind of a pure water deck. Yeah, Mari said maybe Greninja.
It's always my first thought when I see water.
I mean, I guess
water box.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess even though Stardust Jirachis have become more accessible thanks to Barnes & Noble here, I suppose there's probably still some people that haven't been able to take advantage of that. It's not like they're limited on their codes, though. Like, it prints out on your receipt.
And, no Shaman, so Octillery.
Yeah, it could just be like Greninja Octillery.
Octilleries.
The old school style of frogs.
Crap hand. Actually,
That was actually a very
terrible,
good
but, you
hand.
know,
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is a very good hand. If you
crap
maybe
hand because you can get a Pokemon.
if you replace the AZ with, I'm gonna go with a
Money.
Carbink. Yeah, money. That's always good.
Except you would just end up throwing it away. With Sycamore?
With Sycamore, or probably with Ultra Ball. I don't know. It depends.
He's got a Remoraid.
I guess recording a video don't cost nothing.
I was trying to come up with a clever refrain, and I'm very tired.
Steven Universe.
Oh, you're playing
gentlemen.
Marty! With glasses.
It does kind of look like Marty.
Marty with glasses, except he doesn't look like a Simpsons character.
It's Farty Marty. You guys get like 100 bonus points if you guys know that. If you know that reference, we just gave you a hint, or I just did like a minute ago. So
bonus points can be turned in for absolutely nothing.
Pretty much. Maybe I'll give you a thumbs up on your comment if you can actually tell me what that reference was. The first person who does it.
What's that Blaziken Brown?
It's the coin.
I mean, I know it's also a fighting type, but I don't know. I always think of the fire half first.
You know, you have a fighting type Blaziken-EX. I'm nearly certain. It's from 3rd gen.
That's weird though.
And this person is taking a long time.
No, it's around your. Oh, okay.
That is frogs. Yep, you got.
It was around your diddly doop, so.
Oh, that's weird.
So I thought the
Yeah.
computer was gonna crash and no one would ever get to hear our beautiful
Oh no,
voices.
I still just would have put it on the bloopers or something.
I'm going to crash.
Oh, that's a good song. It's time for annihilation. Ultra Ball? Yeah. Let me make sure I have Sycamore for next turn. That's good. Okay, so we got that. We can go bam, bam, bam. Where's the Shaman?
We had one in the opening.
So we got 1 plume, 2 gloom. Alright, I'm down with that.
1 little, 2 little, 3 little plumes.
Do I put the... No, we're not going to do that. I'll just take the 4-card draw. I mean, the odds of getting the Vileplume here are not good. We actually got it.
Oh, Heavy Ball? Wait.
Yeah, Heavy Ball can get the Plume.
Really?
Yeah.
Just through retreat?
Uh-huh. Cannot believe we actually hit the Heavy Ball, the Gloom, and the Force of Giant Plants. That's such a luck sack. Holy crap. Waiting for the impending scoop. Because we got the Floatstone on it, too.
Scoopity-doo-dah, scoopity-yay.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
My,
Bam!
oh my, what a beautiful day for scooping.
Welcome to Vileplume. It's not as fun as saying welcome to Vespiplume. First time you watched me play that. Oh, he tried to bubble me.
See,
it didn't work.
I was thinking of the bad Castlevania
Oh,
dub that they did for the PlayStation. Welcome to die.
And die.
This is the first one where you play as Alucard, I think.
Come
on, you're actually a Castlevania
No,
fan.
I played it. It just makes me think Symphony of the Night? The big one? That's the best one. That game's amazing. I still want to get a copy of that and play it on your PlayStation. It's a great game. You would actually like it. Yeah, it's an expensive one. It's worth it, though. A lot of those games are worth it if you have the money. Okay, so now is when we're just sitting on item cards that we can't use. So we're just going to put another energy here so we can get the power gem, which unfortunately doesn't do enough to kill him because suckage.
Oh. That's a thing.
So I don't know, I kind of like 190 HP, but I also kind of like only giving up 1 prize. I'll take 190 HP though.
Give it up to me.
Don't really need an item. Probably should have pulled one though so I could Sycamore it away. Real talk. Power gem. Hopefully
that was not the most powerful real talk we've ever had. Well, you said it was power gem.
Yeah, I know, right? It works. For me, at least. I just gotta hope he doesn't have a handful of Greninjas and Wallies and stuff like that, or Sycamore into one. Oh, there goes the pass.
Oh, and I realize I'm late on this, but I wasn't looking. I called the Octillery.
Yeah, the Remerade's chilling out over there. Okay, so I'm not gonna end him because that's just like that's a potentially a death sentence. I'd be playing Russian roulette if I end him.
Personally, I think Remerade is the most drunk Pokemon. Doesn't even know how to evolve right. How does it evolve into an Octillery?
There's a few things that evolve into things they shouldn't.
Go home, Remerade. You're drunk. That's the weirdest one, though.
Oh no.
Dragonair to Dragonite too also bugs me.
What about Whismur and Loudred?
Well, yeah, Whismur is kind of a cute little bunny thing. But
Yeah, it's just
I don't know.
cross-eyed.
I feel like Remerade is the weirdest, and then Dragonair to Dragonite. Like, that Dragonite just comes out of nowhere.
Comes. He said comes.
This is a family-friendly channel. Gosh.
Tell that to the language on my old videos. For the record, unless you're looking for
Don't
amusement
watch
and
them.
humor, don't watch them. The decks are terrible.
Landorus.
That's been a meme for almost 4 years now. I'm gonna play Blastoise. Here's my Landorus-EX that I play. No.
Even I asked you at the time, and I didn't know crap. I still don't know crap, but, you know, I know a little bit more crap.
I mean, I would think I know crap pretty darn well. I mean, I crap every day.
I know rabbit crap from the Browns.
Why rabbit? I mean,
I
the
know.
Browns are crap. We all know that, but yeah, they won't be the 32nd team to win a Super Bowl.
We were just talking about Whismur, and I had
okay.
bunnies on my mind.
So we're gonna get slashed here for. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he wouldn't have knocked us even if he bounced it. So we can actually kill him here, which I think is gonna be the play.
Do it.
So we're gonna retreat. Bring this sucker out.
We're gonna kill you, stupid Greninja.
Die, Greninja, die. Die, Greninja, die, Greninja, die. And if he actually does start drawing into some legit stuff, that's when we just play the end. Otherwise, I'm probably just content as a cucumber to let Zygarde sit up here and just beat the living piss out of things. Well, it's funny because this one actually does more damage. And yes, I did pick up a one of the ones with better artwork after I recorded the deck profile portion of this video, in case anyone was wondering.
They were not.
Probably not. So if I wanted to play items, I could AZ my Vileplume, put the Oddish back down, put the Floatstone on it, play all my items, and then re-evolve it. It just doesn't seem necessary.
Yeah, I just don't really see any items you need. You're
No. I'm
kind of doing boss right now.
He looks cool. I'll put him down. Start charging him up. Smack. Get out of here.
I'm a firing my laser.
I'm not Zygarde, I'm Cell. I am perfect Cell. I have absorbed androids 17 and 18, and now you shall die.
I still think he looks like a Digimon.
Well, it doesn't mean he doesn't look like a Digimon. He looks like a lot of things. I've heard people say they think he looks like a Gundam, too. But the whole thing with the form and perfect / complete Zygarde, whatever, it just, and, you know, it feels like Cell, and not just because it's made up of all those cells.
I mean,
that's just a pun.
Conceptually, yes. Visually,
no.
not
Visually,
at all.
it doesn't look like Cell, but conceptually, it is exactly like Cell. That's my point. So I got, what, 110, which means 50, 140. He can still kill me.
Do the wave.
You hate that attack, for the record. He's still gonna get 6 if I end him, so I'd rather not give him the supporter. We're just gonna Lance Wrath him for a whole bunch. And then our Zygarde's gonna bite the dust. Which is okay. Assuming he has 2 energy.
He's a ground type, so he likes dust.
Touche.
It's like how Toph always had a layer of dirt on her.
Well, she walked around barefoot everywhere. I mean, gotta be able to sense.
It was in Tales of Bossing Say. How do you not remember this?
Yeah, I remember that. That was a great episode, too. Oh, he's not gonna kill me. He didn't have 2 energy.
One of the best episodes.
It pretty much is one of the best episodes. I just killed his Greninja break.
You ain't got no energy.
Rippity-doo-dah, rippity-day.
You know, he could have really used an energy retrieval. Oh, wait.
Yeah, oops. How about a fisherman? Actually, no, he didn't have... The only energy he had was... Oh, no, unless that was... No, that wasn't the one that was on there just now, because he would have gotten his Pokemon back. You have another Greninja?
No.
He's in a water duplicates for nothing here. Alright, so you can just kind of see what's going on. This turn 1 Vileplume just kind of shoving it up, just winning me this game. So, yeah, we're going to Lanzerath again. We're gonna
I wanted to see the Octillery.
Maybe he'll evolve his thing into Sushi Master or Octomom or whatever you want to call it.
He was going to bring in the heavy Octillery. Get it? Instead of artillery.
You know, if he doesn't scoop, I actually kind of want to troll and kill him with Geostrike.
You're a jerk. Is Zygarde Street 3?
Oh my god, wait, yeah. I could kill him with Rumble. No. Well, no,
Let's get ready to
if I attach the strong energy, I can. A 7-card bird. I think that supporter came a little too late. No offense if this person's watching this, if my opponent from this match is watching this video. I don't mean to insult you at all. We're just kind of trolling around.
It's over now, isn't it?
Geostrike! Because I can.
You're mean.
Okay, so that game went pretty well. But you guys can just kind of see how the Vileplume, I mean, I don't really think I needed to explain very many of those moves. The Vileplume just kind of sat there. I did a little damage with Carbink, retreated it when Zygarde was fully charged up. Didn't even really need the acceleration from the brakes, which is good because I didn't have it. And then, just, you know, kind of sat behind that Zygarde, and no reason to play an N when my opponent's dead drawn. That's the way I look at it there, you know. And if he had knocked out the Zygarde, it's whatever. I can bring the Carbink up for a turn. And by then I had the Break Evolution, and I can just use the non-EX Zygarde to attack. So, again, a lot of versatility going on there. Would have taken me one more turn to knock out the Greninja Break, so I would have given up an additional prize, but that's fine. So anyway, we're going to do another one.
Oh, hey, it's Business U.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
I'm gonna do that stuff. Ice Zenheart. Okay. It's like Night March, except there's no colorless. Like, please tell me you're not trying to play Night March without Shaman.
Octillery.
Well, there was no water. It was, and it's not like they were concealing a type. There was 2 types.
You don't need Shaman, you need Octillery.
I mean, I feel like you need Shaman. If you don't have Shamans, you could play the Octillery, I guess, you know, like, better that than neither.
Disco Octilleries.
Oh, God. Oh, I hadn't heard that one in a while. Okay, this guy's just not flipping his coin. Like, this seems to be a recurring kind of theme here tonight, that people are just not flipping their coins until it's way too late.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Waffle House sounds really good right now.
It doesn't sound too shabby. I mean, we're gonna have the great Waffle House IHOP debate if that goes on, but they're both good. I could eat Waffle
better.
House. In your personal opinion, it is.
IMHO, yeah.
Why don't we ask Phoenix?
Joaquin Phoenix?
What?
That's you don't know Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Oh.
I didn't watch very much TV and movies when I was a kid, nor did I read.
I've been working so hard to improve it, though. So hard. He knows who Pluto is now.
Yeah, let's not go into that. Let's save that for the blooper video.
Dude, it's not a blooper video if you plan it.
It's a gag reel. Stop. And for the record, 99% of what's on there is not planned. It just happens during the videos. Most of those segments can be found in the videos on my channel. I just cut them.
That's what I was just saying, silly.
Except for that match with Trainer, that's like the entire thing is literally nothing but a gag reel, which is why it never made it onto my channel. It is Night March without Shaman. Rip. And especially because I'm probably not getting the Plume first turn, so yeah, I'm not even gonna try to pull the Shaman shenanigans here. It's just not worth it. So we're gonna go like that, and we're gonna grab an Oddish, because I don't think you can do 230 in one turn. And I'll take my chances that he can hit 190 and tool removal. So I think I'll just put the Oddish down as a scare tactic and just be like a harbinger of hopefully things to come.
Ooh, nice word.
Yeah. I'll never guess where I learned it.
I had a Murkrow named that.
Harbinger?
Yeah. Well, it would probably be better for an Absol, given that they foretell
yeah,
disaster.
they foretell disaster.
What the heck does Mega Absol see then, man? That thing must see some serious crap.
Don't you know that's where Future Trunks came from? Also, we're playing unknowns. Okay, so that's the route we're going. That's why I only saw 2 types. Yeah, put some Vespiquens in there if you're gonna go that route. There's the town now. So let's see what happens. What do you have prized? 3 Night Marchers.
Oh,
Music to my ears.
You're not sad.
You're not killing me this turn. I'm down with that. So you discard 2 Lampins, a puzzle. You got a puzzle. Ah, there's a megaphone. That startled me. T-mail for a comp. So he's gonna probably dump the other 2 Lampins. Let me see. Is there one over here? No, there's not. That's Pumpkaboos. 2 Pumpkaboos and a Joltik. So they're gonna dump 2 Lampins as long as he doesn't have one in hand, and probably another Pumpkaboo. Not Joltik. I was kind of hoping he would dump the Pumpkaboo because I do play the Lucario-EX in here. I actually don't play Focus Sash. I'm not sure how relevant that is.
Probably pretty against Night March.
Potentially. I mean, if I had gotten the Plume before this crud happened, then it wouldn't really matter.
You would have shut it down.
Because he wouldn't really be able to do it. He's basically got to be able to stream Sycamores at that point. Speaking of Sycamores,
if you're Sycamore.
I like that song. Oh, T-mail, help me out. There we go. That's what I needed.
I don't know what gloom sounds like.
You almost got the nail on the head there.
Oh, really?
Gloom, gloom!
Oh.
Season 1.
That put me in a gloomy mood.
Oh, I see what you did there. Erica had a gloom instead of a Vileplume. Okay, don't do this like me. Like, I completely brain farted and realized now that there's no forest of giant plants sitting there.
Well, yeah, I was kind of wondering about that, but, you know.
Get out of here. I could really realistically have used either attack, but whatever. More damage on my account. Cool.
You jerk.
Get that out of here. Now it'll say I dealt more damage because I did, what is it, 60, 80, 160?
Yeah.
That's what it just said. I'd have dealt 24. I'd have dealt 80 if I did Lance Pulse because there wasn't a stadium at the time. The fact that he can play VS Seeker bothers me. So wait, we got 7, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So honestly, that does account for all his Night Marchers.
I kind of like it though if he end you. Oh.
I mean, I'm dead drawing, but he's got to have not 1 but 2 energy, so he's gonna have to have gone and pulled another energy from the deck, because he's having to 2-shot me.
Yeah, but the problem is once you get that Vileplume down, you don't have that much backup, so an end would have been nice.
Let's start doing it. Oh no, I wouldn't exactly object to that. I mean, I can kill him without having to go up to my 3rd attack here, which is nice. Resistance canceled out by that strong energy. So we get a Floatstone, which is a dead card, so... I mean, I guess the thing is, he's got to get his hands on that double colorless that's in his prizes or have another way to get one, because we've got him item locked now. So, I mean, obviously you bring up the Mew here because you can just free retreat it.
I guess I'm just really bad at memorizing retreats. I didn't know Mew was free.
No, Mew-EX wasn't.
Well,
Mew-EX was 1 retreat, so... Shouldn't say was, because it is getting reprinted here pretty soon. Those Dragon's Exalted Full Arts look awfully nice in my book. Ah, he got the Sycamore. Oh, he had an N and a Hex anyway. He had outs. Just gotta hope he doesn't hit the deuce. That was an unknown, okay. Oh, he's using Encounter. Search a Pokemon from his deck and put it in his hand? Yeah. All
This
his night
encounter
mergers
is
are accounted for,
in
so...
kind.
Okay, so there's either going to be another Mew or an Unknown, yeah. Because all 12 night mergers are accounted for. There should be 8 of them in here. Yeah, and then there's 3 in the prizes, and there's 1 there. Okay, he forfeited. So, I mean, like, we were sitting on 1 attacker, but obviously it looked like he didn't really have much. So, he was in the top decking mode. So anyway, that's, Zygarde Vileplume, or Fighting Vileplume, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, the deck originally came from over in Japan. I didn't buy it at first, but the more testing I did with it, you know, just kind of playing for fun, the more I realized it's actually kind of legit. So, I'm not sure if I'd play it at Worlds, but if you're playing side events there or something, definitely, you know, give it a try or take it to your league, you know, before AZ and stuff rotate, and you got to be replaced with Olympia. Otherwise, the deck doesn't really lose a whole lot. Strong Energy got reprinted, so... If you can make do with Olympia, which obviously is not as good as AZ, but otherwise I think the deck really doesn't lose much, so definitely, you know, you could probably try to take it forward. Might be worth looking into for Standard, post-rotation. We'll see where that takes us, but for now, that's what I got for you, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers!